Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Another Nerdy Talk Show. And welcome to 2020, a year of change, a year of innovation. And where are we right now? Australia's on fire, and we are on the brink of World War III, according to Twitter. So, and rather than talking about how we messed up badly, we're going to spend the night here talking about all the good things in life. I'm here with my usual host here, Justin. Not Justin Squared. Not Justin Squared. Justin, where the frick is... Cruiser, where the frick is Jablonski? Where is Jablonski?
You have a caller.
He'll probably be on later.
Yeah, we'll be taking calls in a couple moments. He will be on later. I own him. Anyway, Anyway, so with that said, let's move on to tonight's thing there. We have new stuff going on here. Tonight we'll be interviewing Robert Adams of SS Hanami and, Soda Player. Who will be broadcasting to us from Japan tonight.
That'll be fascinating.
So yes, as I said there, apparently Australia's on fire. I'm on the brink of World War III. I got my gas mask.
There ain't no war coming.
Of course there's no war coming. It's like theoretically impossible.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah.
What is it good for?
Oh yeah, I'm also here with Bright Idea and Jawan.
Yes.
Sorry.
We're here. We're helping.
We're after.
We are helping.
We built this city on rock and roll. Anyway, before we take in colors, we're just going to tell you what's going on here. Yes, it's 2020, the first Ants chat of 2020, where we're going to be talking about all kinds of things that have been going on here in the year. What have we got coming out this year?
Cyberpunk 2027.
Cyberpunk 2027? Is that a movie?
It's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, that game. I forgot about that. Sorry. I mean, huge thing there. You are still wearing the same shirt from last night? I have two. Yeah, I washed it today. Don't believe me? I got a pile of dirty clothes on the other side of the room there. I mean, clean clothes that were once dirty.
Stop showing your dirty laundry, Evan.
It's not dirty, it's clean.
He's actually
I'm making the joke.
It's not clean. It's not clean at all. I mean, it's clean. I mean, it's clean. Stop confusing me. You're making me sad.
Aw, that's a good start.
Yeah, I got this Luma for $5 in Tupelo, Mississippi. So yeah, Robert Adams is going to be joining us tonight at 9 p.m. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about things that go wrong. I mean, stuff that works.
Talking about stuffing or
That was 2 weeks ago. I'm excited to perform as Jasper in the call. Oh yeah, Ultimate. I was doing I'd like to thank you guys for joining here. I had to do I did a chat on Mystery Boy Theater's YouTube about some stuff going on there, and yeah, apparently our good buddy Ultimate there is going to be playing doing a dub of one of Jasper Pie's video or something like that with him doing the voice of Jasper.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be good. Get on ya. Anyway, if you'd like to join in the chat and talk to us, the links in the chat room right there. With that said, before we get on to there, bringing Robert in there, who will be broadcasting to us from Japan. I want to also thank him for making a video shouting us out. Lord knows we need it. Let's talk about what we do best. Hold on, we got a caller. We got Ultimate coming in here, actually. Okay, let's go. Ready?
Bring him in.
Ultimate, you are on Ants. What's up?
Hello. As for the Jasper Pie thing, I'll be doing the one with Sapphire.
Oh, really? Which one was that? Was that the one where she keeps constantly calling him Papa Pizza Pones?
Yeah. First scene in Blissy's video.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Actually, I haven't seen Blissy's prank call in a while. Was that your favorite one?
Papa Pizza Pone.
Blissey was the first one to actually to do
To call him that?
Pizza Pone. I'm hungry. What the? Stop me.
I can't wait to see how the dub's gonna turn out, man.
I don't want to come downstairs. You see, you like the event. Wait. We're doing we're a sacred place.
Keep working on the thing there, man. Can't wait to see the final result.
Yeah.
I don't think he could hear us.
Probably not. It seems like he was too in the zone.
Yeah.
That was good though. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
It sounded really uncanny. It sounded just like them.
Yeah, it sounded really good. Get your back scratcher off the camera, Cruiser.
But it feels nice. Makes my hair look cool.
You should have one of those. They work really well. No problem. So, yes, we got a good amount tonight here. For those of you who also want to join the chat there, we can also take a look at this one right here. The link. You did good. You did good, Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep us posted on your project.
Keep us posted on your project. Share it with us when you're done. We'd love to see it.
Now, in other news, well, not really news because these movies came out a long ass time ago, but I recently got it. Where did I put? Here we go. Sat down to watch the Back to the Future trilogy. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I had not seen these movies in a long time, and I actually forgot just how good they were.
They are.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Back to the Future fan.
Yeah, the first adventure was a lot of fun and definitely set the tone. And that one I was the most familiar with. You got to remember, these movies came out in '85, and that's when I was born. So when I saw these things, I was like maybe like 4 or 5. So even then, I had very vague memories of them. And again, for one thing, there is sort of this '80s retro coolness to it, and the DeLorean and Doc goes, well, if you're going to travel in time, you might as well do it in style. Yeah,
I might as well do it in style.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's performance was just great. And one thing I didn't really notice, the one thing I didn't really notice is that while Biff, Tom Wilson's character, who was in all 3 films, his part didn't seem to be as big as I remember it. Like, he definitely plays a factor in it, don't get me wrong, but you're kind of so focused on Marty that you kind of forget, oh yeah, there's a bully in this.
Yeah, basically the way there. I mean, like, apparently the bully can master the art of time travel because apparently in the ride he sneaks into the future and steals the DeLorean.
Yeah, and that movie is a special feature on here.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask that. Is the bootleg on that DVD?
It is on there, yes. It's on one of there's actually 4 discs in this thing. I actually got this as a Christmas present. The only thing that sucked is that the first disc is defective. The first disc is defective, so I gotta see if there's a way if I can get that replaced. Because I'm pretty sure we don't have the receipt anymore. But
that's not terrible that it's defective.
I know. It's like, what the hell, guys?
DeLorean meets Mandalorian. That would be an interesting crossover. I would totally agree. This is the way.
Yeah. That actually be kind of funny to see. Like, see the Mandalorian walk around. He opens a barn door, and there's Doc with a DeLorean. Like, oh, like, who are you?
Yeah.
He's got like a baby Yoda.
Makes me think of the you know, in 50 Ways to Die in the West with the guy who does Family Guy. Seth MacFarlane. So there's a cameo with Doc Brown in there. So that would be hilarious to just stick that scene in there.
Maybe, but I want to pretend that movie doesn't exist anymore. So
I never saw it, but I heard that it was bad. But it was the second movie in this trilogy that I was the most unfamiliar with. And that definitely kind of upped the ante. And Biff definitely had a bigger part, and he felt like more of a threat than he did in the first movie. And seeing how things played out with the almanac, and their characters kind of slightly hanging out in the background so they don't bump into their past selves, that was great.
How was that scene where Marty's behind the counter throwing milkshakes at people?
But on an interesting little factoid, turns out on Pawn Stars, someone actually brought in one of the prop almanacs from that movie to the pawn shop, and it was actually signed by the cast. And now I think that this is so cool, such a cool item. But then I found out that because it's signed, that devalues it because you just ruined the prop.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking, really? But like, it's an on-screen prop that's signed by the cast. Shouldn't that up the value?
I mean, there's nothing else like it in existence. They didn't sign multiple things, so it's one of a kind.
Yeah, I mean, like, they did have multiple almanacs, but this one was definitely screen use. A lot of times, studios will make multiples of a prop, and only a select few are screen used. The rest they kind of give away as like prizes or maybe auction. But yeah, that's surprising. Like, really, that would devalue it?
Cruiser, you're having a problem with your feed.
Somebody said that it looks like your voice is being dubbed, which is weird because
I'm gonna take a screenshot of Cruiser right now because he looks like a big pixelated mess. Juan, you're seeing this on Twitch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitch.
Really?
No, Cruiser, let me fill it in for you. This never happens on Skype.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, you're back to normal. You're back.
Okay.
You just had a weird boot-in session. It's like, I think I have another picture of that, actually.
Kind of weird, because it says I actually have full reception.
It's probably on my end. I mean, I don't know if it worked on their ends or not, but like for me, it just went crazy.
But then suddenly I watched the third movie, the one that takes place in the West.
Yeah.
That was also great. I love seeing, Biff as that Western guy and the makeup he had to wear.
That was him?
Yeah. Tom Wilson, yeah, he was in all three movies.
Same guy.
He's an
The makeup is incredible.
And
Nobody calls me Mad Dog. Nobody.
But it was great seeing Doc making this huge ass machine just to make one ice cube. That was hysterical. Figuring out to use the locomotive.
He has that fucking cool steampunk shotgun.
Yeah, using the locomotive to actually get to 88 miles an hour. And the one thing that they left in there, I'm so glad it didn't alter it, was at the end of the movie, there's still that little kid going and pointing to his crotch.
What?
I am not kidding. Like, at the end of the movie, where you see the locomotive, Doc, his now wife, and his two sons, there is one of his sons is standing there right in front of the camera,
Jules
and he's going,
Verne.
Jules Verne!
I actually just posted on my personal Facebook page if you want to see it for yourself.
Someone made a comment. Oh, we got 666 viewers on here. 2020, everybody. First of all, someone said going back to that glitch you had on your screen there, saying, is the movie Unfriended taking over Cruiser? I don't know. Cruiser, go get a blender.
But yeah, like that's like apparently like so many people didn't notice that scene. Like even Fearox, my sound guy, he never knew about it, and I recorded it, sent it to him, and he can't believe he missed it.
I never noticed that.
It's kind of like when you watch it's kind of like when you watch like Teen Wolf, and then like you realize at the ending of the pep rally scene, you see some guy in the background with his dick out.
Matter of fact, well, hold on, let me see if it's still on my phone, because if it is, then okay, Evan, I am going to send this to you, and if there's a way you can put it in the chat somehow, because I don't know.
Just
please be my.
Okay.
Please.
So if this is Unfriended, does that mean Juan is the ghost? Juan, what about you? What about you, Juan? How about you tell us something?
You broke up. What'd you say?
Nothing. I was making. How about you tell us something that's going on with you?
I saw this awesome thing on YouTube.
What'd you see?
So somebody took and like made this awesome trailer called Star Wars The Saga trailer, where they took bits and pieces from all the movies and made this really awesome trailer. And I've watched it about 5 times now. It's so good.
Just a trailer for all 9 films?
Yeah, it's so good that it gives you goosebumps. It's awesome.
Cruiser,
if you're a major Star Wars fan,
I sent to your phone, dude.
Oh. That sounds really cool.
I've just been watching the Clone Wars, that's all.
I have to go back to watching the Clone Wars. I heard is it still good?
It's now on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking to my dad, and I told him I realized we never saw the Clone Wars movie. Let me see here.
Okay, Kurt, if you remember, I was telling you something peculiar about this scene.
Yeah, I originally sent that to Kurt.
Of course he did. I thought you said critic for a second. I'm like, what? Anyway, that's the thing. Like, I've only seen like the first season of the Clone Wars up to the episode with Cad Bane. After season 2, I kind of timed out. I regret doing so. Like, I heard it's really good stuff. I've seen bits and pieces of it, so yeah. I have to still see Rebels too. Did you watch Rebels?
No, doesn't Clone Wars come after? I mean, doesn't Rebels come after Clone Wars?
Yeah, it's current Empire and Rebels.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna finish Clone Wars and then watch Rebels.
Yeah, I gotta see that series. I mean, like MC Chris loved it. I preferred the Tommy Wiseau Star Wars movie.
I saw that.
Oh boy.
I'm not even going to ask questions.
Someone.
Oh yeah, they replaced Darth Vader with Tommy Wiseau.
Stormtrooper.
All I'm going to say, Evan, is that if you and your dad should probably do a reaction of Tommy Wiseau Star Wars and upload it to your channel. It is hilarious.
It's not gonna get it.
Okay, fine, then just you then, because it is hilarious.
Yeah, basically, I mean, like, I don't want to get in there. I mean, like, I can watch The Room for free on here because Tommy Wiseau gave the movie out for free,
well,
so...
Let's see here. One thing that actually happened with me at work is, as you guys may remember, I said throughout all of this week, I actually had to work morning shifts. Now, I normally work in the evening, anywhere from noon to 8:30, 2 to 8:30, or 4 to 8.
Only at the hospital, ladies and gentlemen.
But this time I actually had to do 8 to 5 throughout the entire week, and I was actually proud of myself because I'm usually a night owl. I wasn't tired or groggy when I went in. I was able to go in and do my job. I'm like, wow,
That's awesome.
I'm surprised. Yay! Plus, yeah, working those hours on New Year's Day was time and a half for me.
I had to work New Year's Eve at the Magic Kingdom. I was in the Buzz Lightyear ride when midnight happened. We went on the speakers and shouted everybody on the ride, Happy New Year! It was really cool.
Did you say that Disney gave the guests a bunch of noisemakers?
Okay, so here's my story. I have worked New Year's Eves before at the Magic Kingdom, but like I never did it at night. It was only during the day, and they never did this during the day. When 6 o'clock came, they started giving the guests hats and noisemakers.
Noisemakers.
And when you're in a park that's filled to maximum capacity, that's like 80,000, I believe, and you hear noisemakers all over the place, it makes you want to go what is called insane. You see, insane is when you have the urgency to take a pistol, put it into your head, and pull the trigger so many times to see how long it'll take for the brain to stop.
Oh God!
I think what I'm trying to say here is will I do it again and work at the Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve? I hope not.
Put the gun to your head and pull the trigger. Under your chin, the hole will be bigger.
Oh my God.
That was grim.
It got dark.
Okay, Mr. Guy, how about you tell us how your New Year's Eve was?
I worked. I didn't
Not you. I was talking about Juan.
I did absolutely 100% nothing.
You didn't do anything. You weren't watching the ball drop. You just sat there playing Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, I watched the ball drop, but that was about it. Really nothing like too interesting in the New Year's.
Yeah, and to be fair, to kind of talk about New Year's and whether or not what you do on it. According to Family Feud, one of the questions they asked in the Fast Quick Money round was on a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun is New Year's? And the survey said 5.
Wow.
Yeah, just 5.
Oh,
and to be honest, as an adult, yeah, you can kind of see that, especially if you're not a partier. I mean, yeah, I love going to concerts, but it's not like I drink and get hammered at these things. I go for a performance. So
because you don't drink.
Yeah,
I've been to some good New Year's celebrations myself.
Sorry, but someone suggested me saying sorry, but I'm allergic to an estimated 80,000 people being loud and show a doctor's note. I only wish.
My New Year's was pretty fun. Like, I got me and my mom and my sister, me, my mom, and my brother hung out, watched some fireworks, saw the ball drop, and listened to some good music. Had a bit of champagne, but that's.
I had shots of rum after work. Cruiser, by the way, your camera froze. He was frozen today.
This may
Cruiser wasn't watching the ball drop. He was watching his balls drop. Hello? Hello? Are we offline? We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, my mom took me with her because I kind of know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to take over? It's connected to YouTube and Twitch. I'd have to log in and just get the stream key, that's all.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We were having some technical difficulties. I don't know why. Apparently now I'm in the bottom corner.
Okay, but anyway, so I was able to get, because we had money, we were able to get people Christmas presents, and my mom took me with her because I kind of know what everybody likes. And you definitely don't have to break the bank when you go Christmas shopping. Like what I got for my older sister, that she's a big fan of Stranger Things, so I got her this Stranger Things vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah, and it even came with a sticker and a mini poster. And she goes, "Whoa, cool! I don't have a record player."
So you got yourself a record player.
Yeah, I mean they're like $20 now anyway.
Record players? Record players?
Yeah, like Bluetooth record players at Walmart. They're like $20.
Wait, Bluetooth record players?
Bluetooth record
So
players?
you can play. So can you play vinyl and from your phone?
Honestly, I have no idea. It just said Bluetooth record player.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
both
like,
backward and forward
do you like
compatible.
control it or something like that?
Again, guys, I have no idea. I don't even get why vinyl is back in vogue anymore.
But you're the music guy.
And I think vinyl being back in vogue is stupid.
You're a phony.
No.
A big fat phony.
No. Oh god.
Like the one
phony. Do with the sound of like feeling warm or like something about analog versus digital.
Okay, well, here's the thing. First of all, when it comes to vinyl records now, first of all, a lot of music is still recorded digitally. So it's not recorded with analog. So that's number one.
Right.
Number two, playing it through vinyl will give you kind of some extra distortion. However, here's something you may not know when it comes to vinyl is that number one, you have to keep cleaning that needle every time you use it. And number two, every time you use it, you are very slightly damaging the record. It is actually scratching it.
I actually used to think that each line on a record represented a song. Isn't that just adorable?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so not to mention also, do you really want to hear this while a song is playing?
It depends on the point.
Yeah, like might be comforting to some people. I don't know.
ASMR. I mean,
I have a friend that has like an amazing collection of vinyls.
Really? How many are we talking?
Oh, it's a bunch. Like we sat there when he moved into his new place and alphabetized the whole thing for like about half hour to an hour.
Wow.
I'm talking about everything from Captain Beefheart to James Brown.
It's crazy. Like I've met people who have like up to 15,000 that have like up to 15,000 like records collections. That's like crazy.
Honestly, and not to mention also there's like for me when it comes to vinyl, the one good thing I will is you have a nice, good blown up picture of the artwork, and you can just put on your wall, make for a nice display. I will give it that. I do like that. I have like maybe 7 signed vinyl records hanging on my wall in my studio. They're nice to look at, but when it comes to quality, not so much. And honestly, there's someone else on YouTube by the name of Finn McKenty who has a channel called The Punk Rock MBA. He's all about learning how to do things by yourself so you can be successful without a label and stuff like that. And he's really big into numbers and getting down to the hard data and facts. I asked him what he thinks of this whole vinyl stuff, and he doesn't get it. It honestly seems like it's the metal version.
My dad has a saying that comes from Israel. It loosely translates to "There's no arguing in ways of smell or taste." Like if somebody says they have different tastes, it's like no arguing about it.
No, but I think at some point though, you need to at least have your views challenged. And I'm not talking about politically or anything. No, I'm talking about like finding out if you legitimately like this sound from the vinyl, or are you just with the crowd here?
Right. It's like giving reasons why you like something or why you don't like something. It's like, oh, this rubs me the wrong way. I like the way it feels, or something like that, and that's legit.
Yeah, and plus the other thing too, with a lot of modern vinyl records nowadays is that a lot of them will actually come with a code for the digital download.
Pretty cool. I guess it's like authentication. By the way, Juan, I sent you a message on Facebook with the you know what. Anyway, I'm up. Anyway, like I've seen people with them lined up on the thing there. I mean, like if I were to get like a soundtrack to, I don't know, Caligula, I would probably have that like displayed on my thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Does Caligula have a soundtrack? I gotta look that up.
Caligula?
If Caligula has a soundtrack, I'm going to be very, very surprised and happy.
Wait, are you talking about the movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, you know that movie exists?
I know the movie exists. My dad showed me a scene from Caligula, and it's like, God. Like,
I am so sorry.
Hey,
you really know the scene I'm talking about.
I'm so
so
sorry.
you want to know how babies are made? Here, let me show you.
Oh my
No,
god.
not that one. It was this scene where like you have the death arena, this big machine, and it's just lopping off heads.
Oh yeah, the wall.
Okay.
It's like has all the people on the wall for some reason they're not wearing anything and like they're just throwing eggs at the heads on the ground. I remember Brad Jones reviewed that one time, and when it cuts to that scene, he just randomly shouts out, "That machine did not exist!" It was funny because that's his favorite movie of all time. Oh my god, is there a soundtrack to Caligula? Because the soundtrack's actually really good.
I'll probably see it someday, but I've only seen that scene.
But what I was saying before is that like I got my younger sister this Harry Potter box that had like all his little Harry Potter themed knickknacks. My brother, I got him the Harry Potter invisibility cloak, which
Oh my god.
It's kind of interesting. It's basically there's instructions to download an app, and you can put this cloak around you because on the reverse side is a green screen thing. So it's what allows you to be a floating head through the camera. Yeah. And this stuff wasn't that much money.
Oh my god, there actually is a soundtrack to Caligula. I'm sorry if I changed your subject.
So
it's a 2-disc soundtrack. Oh my god.
Evan, I'm going to say this right now. I'm not that surprised because even Manos has a sound.
What's Manos?
Manos.
The Hands of
Manos, Hands of Fate. Okay, that one.
Manos, you're American. Manos, you're American. Damn it.
And Evan, I actually did finally watch your little unboxing video from your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Christmas.
It was adorable, and there were moments where I could tell you were channeling JonTron.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
He's
not
like,
trying to channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were. It's like, happy? I'm trying. That is
Yeah.
a John Tron thing, dude.
No, that was actually a legit reaction. I mean, I'm still going through that stress, but like, was that a John Tron
Yeah.
joke?
Yeah, that's what he did on one of his
It's kind of his vibe.
I felt like I think I
Probably
actually more.
have the same
if there's-
similar vibe.
If anything, I channeled that more from Scott the Woz when he did his shovelware game where he's like, hook a frog gladly. Oh, Scott. Anyway, I'm a.
Yeah, he's got a new episode coming out tonight too, I think.
Oh yeah, did you see his Christmas special where he got what's his face from the Madden 08 cover?
Yeah, and what's his deal with Madden 08? I don't get it.
Some people like Madden. Juan.
Okay, but what I'm saying is
Hold on a sec. Juan.
He's muted. He's silent.
Silence Spartan. I was about to say Juan is a Madden player, so he probably would know. Some people.
I would say, don't get Madden, get Gladden.
Oh, sorry. What happened?
You've played Madden 08?
No.
What Madden do you like?
I didn't like any of them, honestly.
I thought you had like every single one.
That's John Winters.
The taco dude. I mean the hoagie guy.
Taco dude.
Taco dude.
Taco.
Want to talk about it?
Oh, knock it off, right?
There's a Madden for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, like, if everybody hey, my question is why he hates Madden 09. That's my thing.
Well, this is what I want to know. What is it about Madden 08 that makes that one good and bad?
I think it's because it had more of a customizable team feature or something like that. I don't know. I don't play sports games.
No, of course I don't. Why would I waste my time with a sports game?
I mean, unless it's backyard ice hockey for the Game Boy Advance. That was a fun one.
But speaking of video games, Evan, I noticed that one thing you got was actually this Pokemon double feature game for your...
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, well, I got one for my Switch, but it was Digimon.
Yeah, cool. Did your double pack come with a solid gold cover?
Why would I need that?
Because it's awesome.
It doesn't come with a solid gold cover. I have that same double feature pack.
I like
it did. What?
I like the inner art with the map. That's pretty cool.
How did yours come with a solid gold cover? Mine's didn't.
I don't know. I got the double pack. It even came with codes.
I also got this game for the Switch as well. I know a lot of people say how bland these Super Mario games were, but I just wanted a Super Mario game that I could just casually play on my Switch that was just the old school ones, because I've beaten those things so many times.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Mario games are not essentially bad. They're just repetitive.
Yeah, and I've only played like maybe 3 or 4 others of these. I haven't tried this one. So it was really just more of a sense to just have a new Mario game I could casually play on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was fun, and I had something here. I'm selling my Let's Go Eevee game just because it was fun nostalgia. I do not like the Pokemon Go style capture system. You don't even fight the Pokemon.
I think that's what made it harder. I mean, like, the thing with that's the thing. There, just like the Mario thing, there's not essentially a bad Pokemon game, with the exception of Pokemon Black and White. But basically, it's
really,
just...
because Black and White was the fan favorite.
Yeah, well, I thought it was stupid, so there you go. I hated that game so much.
Now, right.
You know what? That puts a lot of stuff in perspective.
Now, we all know that you celebrated Hanukkah.
Yes.
Now, and I know you said that Hanukkah gifts are usually crap, but did you get anything that you liked?
Well,
or that...
I'm trying to think of like what I actually got for Hanukkah. I mean, we didn't get anything new, but like we went to Best Buy and my mom got a new computer, so that was
cool.
Pretty much just like made her happy because like computer was 5 years old.
Well,
maybe older actually.
Well, let me ask you this, because you said Hanukkah gifts are usually pretty crappy.
Yeah.
But do they sometimes kind of throw in something that's more fun, I guess you could say, because I know, again, I'm not getting political to
Right.
here,
Yeah.
but Ben Shapiro, the newscaster, he is Jewish, and they
Okay.
were celebrating Hanukkah with his wife and kids, and his
Cool.
kids really started getting into the original Star Wars trilogy, and he's been giving them like Star Wars toys based off that. So this told me that that it's probably not uncommon to give your kids like a gift they might actually would like, and not just
Right.
holy, I guess you could say.
I think it only goes for the.
I mean, Hanukkah is not a day. It's a good secular. It's remembering the story of the oil lasting for 8 days.
Oh yeah.
People eat fried foods. We made homemade potato fry, and me and Bettina watched the new Star Wars. Liked it fine. Like there were issues I had with it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I loved getting to spend time with my sister, and yeah, it was like Hanukkah's different every year depending on family and events and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing you can reliably rely on is lighting of the candles, and that was nice.
Yeah.
It brightens up the room.
Do you guys actually leave the candles on throughout the entire day and never blow them out, or?
Yeah.
I mean, they only last like half an hour.
Oh, okay.
They're really small candles.
They're
like birthday candles, basically.
Like, isn't like a tradition to let them last as long as they possibly can, like in the story or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the thickness and like how big the candles are. It's like most of them are just like birthday candles.
Because I know a lot of people, most people stopped doing it because apparently using oil candles is really dangerous. So.
Yeah, I mean, we use like regular wax candles.
I heard people that use like those regular ones with the switches.
Yeah, I mean, some people have electronic menorahs where like you just like turn the switch on and like that lasts all day.
It's
so
like I like being true to my faith, but I also like living in my house. So there you go.
Yeah, it's like I like lighting things. I like putting things on fire.
What?
Pyro. It's like fire. I like brightening up the room. Well, yeah, you could do that with lamps, whatever.
Yeah, so I wasn't quite sure, like, if you're allowed to get your kids or your family members, like,
oh, we're definitely allowed. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when I have my own family, I'll, like, have kind of gift-giving regular thing. But, yeah, our families, like, it's not as big of a priority, and that's okay. I like celebrating the general winter holiday, Christmas. I really get into spirit.
So you do plan on having kids?
Yeah, someday. Probably years from now.
All right, so everyone, keep your eyes out for a little light bulb.
Yes, little light bulbs have like
and these are rechargeable. Yeah. Okay. So Juwan, what did you tell us about your Christmas? Was there something you got that really stood out? Was there an event that happened that you'll cherish?
Something I got. I got a couple of games, and I decided to gamble on a Switch Lite for reasons that I can't get into on stream. Well, actually, no, I'm kidding. So I got a Switch Lite, so it could be my backup Switch, so I can put some custom firmware on my old Switch. And in case it bricked my old Switch, I had the Switch Lite as a backup. Everything went well. So my Switch is now has custom firmware on it. But I kind of like the Switch Lite because it's a little more portable. It's like pocket size. You just dump it right in your pocket and go.
I never really had a problem with the with the regular Switch's portability. Now, granted, I'm not going to school, so it's not like I'm sneaking this thing around and playing with kids out in the quad or anything.
Yeah.
But
the quad.
It just came to my head.
I know. That's just like, I'm sorry. The quad. What?
But like my main thing was just in case my main Switch bricked. I had that as a backup, but it didn't. So I'm more happy about that.
Now, have you experienced any drifting issues?
No, but I am getting it in my PS4 controller now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's not even. It's almost like a year old, so that's kind of. I'm a little sad about it
Uh,
because it's hard to play shooters, and the guy just decides to look left automatically without you doing anything.
mhm.
But luckily enough, I have another PS4 controller waiting.
Yeah, I got two personally, just in case if I got a friend over and we can just kind of play 2-player games. But then, oh shit, all my friends live in Orlando. So now I got one that's always charging and one that's in use, so I can kind of just switch them back and forth. But definitely though, for the highlight for me was still Trans-Siberian Orchestra and just taking my mother to go see that.
Oh man, yeah, that must
Yeah.
have been a blast.
Oh my god! And not to mention just how much my mom does not like concerts. She does not like going out and doing big things like that. Like she won't even go out and see him. She won't even go out and see a movie.
Oh,
And
doesn't like the crowd.
I guess not. But for this, she sucked it up and she did it. She loved it. And my aunt and uncle are actually down here visiting. I showed them the program, and they're looking through this thing, seeing all those beautiful photos. And my uncle goes, "Well, honey, I guess we're going to this next year." Yeah.
We inspired future plans.
Mm-hmm. And
That's cool. We were listening to Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas Day. It was fun. Oh, something else. On the 20. What is that?
That was my phone alarm.
Oh, on the 25th, me and my sister, we made a vegetarian pizza with like the veggie toppings in the shape of a wreath, just like a bunch of peppers and spinach and like olives on it. So like we love our veggie pizza, and so like while we're doing this, we're listening to Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and it's just a blast.
are you kind of hoping that Trans-Siberian Orchestra does a Hanukkah themed thing?
That's okay. I mean, most we got is like the melodies for the Hebrew prayers and the dreidel song. So
It just
there's also Master, which is pretty good, but like you guys wouldn't know it. It's in Hebrew.
I have such a vivid memory of that song from South Park. It's hard to be a Jew on Christmas.
Yeah, that Kyle sings.
Yeah, and so before I tend to our guest Robert, I gotta ask: would you say you kind of feel a little bit like that every time the holidays come around?
I used to, but not so much anymore. I'm like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Well, that's the
but
thing, like,
not that I'm switching religions or anything. I'm just enjoying the story aspect.
Well, I know what you're saying there. I mean, like, I have a lot of Jewish friends myself, of that side of you, but, like, one of my friends was like, it might have been something I heard online, but, like, when someone comes by wishing him a Merry Christmas, he's like, fine, cool, Merry Christmas, because, like, he's not being insulting, he's just wishing you to have a good time, like...
Yeah. It's said with a smile, and it's like, if I say happy holidays to somebody, I want them to get the same feeling, because there's a ton of different holidays around. It's like, it's not happy holidays, it's Christmas. Damn. It's like,
Christmas
why
is a holiday.
you gotta be like that?
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Okay, now I'm going to sign off here and head over to the guest green room to get our guest ready. So, guys, I'll see you in a few.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
When Cruz returns, we will have Robert Adams in the chat room.
Yes, and Robert, I know you're watching this, so please head to our Discord server and head to guest green room.
I'll be linking him to the green room.
Yeah.
So, does that mean I bounce now?
Only if you want to stay, you can stay. I mean, like, if you want to, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But,
Don't.
You still got 10 minutes. I mean, like, Cruiser. I mean, like, what? If you said you didn't get the gold book from Pokemon, right? What color did you get?
No, I got the normal case art. I'm kind of mad about that.
I got mine made of tin. I mean, I got the pack here. It even says in here, includes
Let me see your packaging again.
It says right there,
Let me see this
includes
again.
steelbook.
Hold on. Yeah, I got that same box, but mine wasn't gold. It was just like straight up normal, like the normal art on the case.
So wait, did you not open it?
Yeah, I opened it.
It says Steelbook in here. What the
Yeah, I didn't get the steel book for some reason.
I actually was hesitant to opening this thing because I thought I could just sell this thing, you know?
Probably should have.
Yeah, I probably should have. But hey, I got 2 things. The last time I ever had a double pack was when I got Pokemon Gold and Silver. Or, I'm sorry, Ruby and Diamond and Pearl on DS.
I like that.
Yeah, it was a good one. That was the first time I ever used my Game Shark on it, and I used to have fun on it. I'm sorry, Action Replay. Because Game Shark was extinct. Is Game Shark still a thing?
In random sports news, the Eagles got knocked out of the playoffs.
Fuck! Well, at least we won 1 bowl, I'll say that. And let me get... I like when you open this thing, it has like the Sword and Shield logo on the flaps. Anyway, the one thing that's really interesting there is we all know the New England Patriots are going to go back to the Super Bowl and not give everybody a...
No, they got knocked out last night.
Oh my god, thank Christ. We're going to have a stream during the Super Bowl.
It would be hard to compete with.
What are we competing against?
What day is the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's like...
We only watch the Super Bowl for commercials.
Yeah. I don't even remember watching the Super Bowl. In the last... Must have had a party of some kind.
I do. It was 2 years ago when the Eagles won it, baby.
Yeah, I remember that reaction. That was so cool.
That was so fun. We had a good night, and then Philadelphia was officially destroyed.
We had a good night. Philly caught on fire. Some kid forced poop off the sidewalk.
3 people died. It was a good time. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I want that to be like the headline in the background. It just shows like the place on fire. Like when were we able to? How many cars did we flip that time?
16.
Woo! I remember we were able to flip they flipped like 2 when the Phillies. I remember that. The moment the Phillies won. I will never forget this. The moment the Phillies won the World Series, I never thought we'd be talking about sports. They won the World Series, and then the moment they win, it cuts to a camera of Center City, and it shows all these people flooding in there.
Yeah, just cars start flipping.
Yeah, they were just in the circle, just roughhousing and everything. It was so funny.
The parade, it felt like Christmas Day that day on the parade.
Seeing that
was a Halloween.
Seeing that shots of people like on the bus stops and everything watching this thing is incredible. I didn't go, unfortunately, and I'm kind of debating if that was either a good idea or a bad one, but like, you know.
Oh, that was a bad idea. You missed a great time.
Yeah, I know. No, I meant by bad idea because like it was gonna be you had to go like the night before. It was like crazy.
Well, no, I went the day of. I just went down really early.
Well, how early is really early though?
I got down in the city about 8.
Yeah, I remember there was a viral video at that time where there was this little baby, and his mom kept asking him, "How big are you?" And every time he did this, the crowd goes nuts, and they stop whenever he put his hands down. It was so funny. I gotta show you that.
You're a great city up here. You're a great city up here.
Yeah. I actually remember I met these 2 bronies that were in Philadelphia, and they gave me a tour of the city. It was really cool. Because I never actually got to see much of the city. I only went to like the historic sites. I mean, but Bright, are you going to Sequestria this year?
Sequestria? I might not, just because of the cost of convention stuff. Yeah.
Dang, I was gonna say.
It all depends.
If I can get a guest spot, you should come with me. I mean, like I can get you in there, maybe.
Yeah.
I could talk...
If you guys have like a Shaded Side Studios panel, then that would be awesome. I'd go for that, so I could be part of the panel.
I'm your superior here. I command you to go to that thing.
If you had a panel, I'd kind of go just to watch the panel.
Yeah, I told Joey one day that if you have a panel, I'm just gonna walk up there and just sit down. Like you remember when Saberspark crashed Michelle Krieber and Black Griffin's panel at the Grand Brony Gala?
No,
I don't remember saying that. Wait, I might actually.
There's a video there. Saberspark was at the gala. He wasn't even a guest. He goes up to the microphone and says, "Ring, ring. Yes, I heard Michelle. He's wearing an apple bloom like."
Oh, he's wearing a bow.
Cap. No, he's wearing a skull cap to hide who he is. And he's like, "Yeah, I heard your dad did work on the Banana Phone song, and I'm curious, since you were at Bloom, does it ever get awkward when like you're at breakfast and you like and you like reach for the apple and he reaches for the banana, and then her mom is like laughing in the background, and they know it's him, and like she's like waiting, like, it's just hard. You go in there and he grabs that banana on the thing, and like it's crazy. And Black Griffin's like I can tell you're getting offended by this. He's like, yeah, well, what's your opinion on oranges? Black Griffin says, no politics, please. Please, yeah, but I just want to know. And then they start getting into this argument. He rips off the hat and reveals who he is, and then Black Griffin jumps him on the stage and knocks him down to the ground, Marine Corps style.
Oh God!
And I sent that video
because Black Griffin's in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I think he was a Marine. He was in some sort of national defense. But like one of the things that was like there was the fact that like I sent that video. I'm like, Joey, if you had a panel and I was at the same con, this is exactly how I promise it's going to play out. I actually had an idea of prank calling him one day, but I didn't have his. But he gave me his number, so if I had to do that, I'd have to grab like someone else's phone, like up there. I'm like, right, give me your phone.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the good days. But yeah, if you went to Sequestria, I already budgeted myself out. I gotta say I'm probably gonna stay like 2 nights at the hotel. And I was gonna say, if you should go, I should take you to Philadelphia. Juan and me will give you a tour of the town. Right?
Huh? Sorry, I missed that.
Juan, I said if you were to go down to Sequestria, you and me, you should go. I should get me and Juan will give you a tour of the city.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Juan, would you give Jeanette a tour of the city? Juan.
He's silent again.
God damn it, Sparts. Come on, Juan, black me up.
Yeah. Black us up here.
Okay, I think Juan has become MIA.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, if I see clear and like you guys get a panel there, then like I'll consider it.
Yeah, if I can confirm, if you get me, I can get you Bright Idea if you want.
Yeah.
You probably have to share a room, but I think that made things a lot worse on this thing. I apologize. You okay?
Huh? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just
I thought you were
distracted.
doing this, like you were offended. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
No, I'm just like, yeah.
Oh,
no, I'm fine.
Hey. Went MIA and then REAP'd.
Oh no.
Reappeared.
Yeah.
You're muted, genius.
Now I can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you want to stay for the interview?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything for a while. My headset would just died.
Oh. Does it need recharging or something?
Yeah, I think it's getting old.
So in a matter of moments, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having Robert Adams of SS Hanami and current Japanese resident who's going to be here celebrating his first year living in Japan. Bright, you remember SS Hanami, obviously.
I remember just a little bit. We'll have to remind everybody.
Band at the Grand Bruna Gala. He had the pink hair.
Okay.
He's a soda.
I don't remember if I saw them play because I know that I wouldn't spend the later hours of the night. Would they play in the nighttime?
Oh, they did events. They did things. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go swallow food now. Okay. I'm reading the chat. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you very much, Nathan. Then
yes.
Yeah, we get that there. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Stick tight, and thank you. Okay, guys, I'm taking us to the title card.
Robert Adams to another nerdy talk show. Robert, coming to you live from Japan.
Yes, absolutely. So it's morning here. So ohayou gozaimasu.
Yeah, greetings from the past because it's still the 5th over there. It's actually over here. It's the 6th over there.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what time is it?
Yeah, when I was in...
And we were just talking about Back to the Future, too, so...
It's 11 a.m. on January 6th.
Oh, good. We didn't get you up too early.
Oh, no, it's fine. So...
Okay, now, you're actually on your 1-year anniversary of living there, correct?
Correct. I moved here on January 6th, 2019. I arrived in Japan.
So where in Japan?
Oh, yeah.
Yokohama.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a port city about 45 minutes south of Tokyo by train.
So
it's a really nice place.
So why don't you actually tell us some of the things that are a bit different from Japan and America?
They're going to be probably really superficial things, but after you live someplace for a year, those are the things that matter. Everybody will tell you, even if they visited for a short time, the convenience stores are way better in Japan.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. My buddy Bruce from, you remember Bruce, the balloon dude from the Grambroni Gala.
Oh, can't forget him.
Yeah, he went to Japan for his honeymoon, and he showed me the pictures, and he had to have taken a picture of every single goddamn vending machine there. It was so
yeah, the vending machines are way better. Like, I was waiting for a train, and they had, like, onion soup in a vending machine, like a can of onion soup. And it was a cold morning. I was waiting for this train, and that onion soup was exactly what I wanted at that moment.
I want to get soup from a vending machine. Awesome.
It's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, he was telling me the convenience stores, they're like, he goes in there, it's like going into a Publix. It's like crazy.
It really is. And honestly, because I work in I guess like a skyscraper, a big building, and there are a lot of great restaurants, but the elevators are slow. So I usually, for lunch, just go to the konbini, grab something to eat. So I'm usually eating konbini food, convenience store food for lunch a lot of days at work.
So they call them konbini?
Konbini is the...
konbini.
Nice.
Konbini, yeah. So convenience stores.
And before we actually went live, you were telling me that if you go into a convenience store, it's actually rude to throw something out without having to purchase something.
Oh yeah, yeah. One thing, there aren't a lot of trash cans around. So if you drink something or if you have a wrapper, you might be carrying it with you for a while. But it's rude to go into just a random convenience store and dump your trash in their trash can. You know, because...
Trash culture.
Which makes sense because, I mean, you wouldn't just go into a restaurant and use their restroom with, if you weren't eating food there. You don't just go into a convenience store and dump
There's a reason why
offload your trash.
There's a reason why some restaurants will actually say that their restrooms are for paying customers. It's because if you go and just use it for free, it's still costing them money to run these restrooms, and you just came in and used it for free. That's costing them money, and you didn't buy anything. So it sounds dickish, but there is a reason behind it. And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to sort of off topic, but another great thing about the convenience stores is they have copy machines.
Oh, really?
Copy?
Yeah. So like what I used, like printers. So you can. So I have a 7-Eleven app. If I need to print an important document, or my teacher sends me some Koto music, I upload the file from my phone or PC onto the app. Then I go to the 7-Eleven, go near the printer, select, English, and I just print the file there. And select, all of the settings. So it's like having a Kinko's or a FedEx, right around the corner from my house.
7-Eleven of all places.
I bought the when I went to see Gakuto live.
Really?
I was worried about getting the ticket in the mail, so the delivery option I selected was delivered to a convenience store, and so I paid for the ticket at the 7-Eleven. The ticket arrived to the 7-Eleven. I picked it up. Didn't have to worry about it. I just selected a 7-Eleven. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was so interesting.
There are a lot of really small, convenient things like that in Japan that you're like, oh, why doesn't every place do it like that?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, there's a 7-Eleven across from my workplace. I work at the Disney parks, and they have like an Amazon mailbox there now. It's like, okay,
Really?
Yeah, it's like they have like these mailbox out there. It's all yellow and everything. It just clearly is for Amazon. And I think they like leave them there. It's like crazy. It's like, I don't know how it works, but
And speaking of which, there's some other place that's in Orlando that I don't know if you ever had a chance to saw this, Robert, but there's actually a DBZ themed noodle shop there called Soup Asay.
I've heard about it. I heard about it, but I never stopped by while I was in the States.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now I actually heard this about Japanese culture, that it's actually considered to be a compliment to actually slurp your noodle.
I don't know if it's a compliment, but it's done everywhere. Now, I don't know if I could eat ramen without slurping it because I've been doing it so long. Because everyone does it around you. I know a couple of reasons people do it is because it cools the noodles down. The noodles usually come out very hot, and the air cools them down. You're eating them faster.
Really?
Yeah.
It's suctioning up some of the broth with the noodles, so you're getting the flavor. I don't know if it's a compliment, if it's considered to be a compliment. Maybe I've heard that somewhere, so that could be true.
Well, I remember, and this is kind of going back a long way, so bear in mind. But if you remember the MTV personality, Tom Green, after his show went off the air, he did this thing called the Subway Monkey Hour in Japan. And basically, a narrator would cut in between each segment and talk a little bit about the Japanese lifestyle. And when it comes to, and they said in there that if you're slurping your noodles, that's actually a sign that you're enjoying your meal.
Okay.
Right.
No, that sounds legit. Yeah, that could be true.
Of course, he was being obnoxious about going right up into someone's ear and doing it, but that was his shtick. But I just had to know if that was true or not.
I know one common I don't know if it's common, but one misconception people have is that it's rude to not slurp your noodles, and I know that's not true. Like, you can just go in and eat them normally, and it's totally cool.
Yeah, it's like the false dichotomy. It's like, just because it's good when you do slurp your noodles doesn't mean that it's bad if you don't slurp your noodles. It's like...
Right.
Evan, did you have a question for him?
Yeah, so you traveled to Japan to learn how to play the Koto music, correct?
Yeah, Koto, yeah.
Yeah, how has that been working out for you since you made the move? I mean, has it been a regular thing for you?
Great. Yeah. My first month here, I pretty much just got settled. Now, I purchased a new Koto while I was here.
Really?
A better quality one. And I live in a share house. The walls are pretty thin, so I don't practice here at home. So I go about every weekday and practice at a karaoke place around the corner, or about maybe a 5-minute walk. And it was a pain to carry my Koto, so I made an arrangement with them where I can keep it there,
Wow.
for a small rental fee. In fact, after this is over, I'm going to head and practice Koto for a few hours before work.
Nice.
So, as far as classes go, I moved here. I'm going for my Koto license. It's called a Jun Shihan.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
because I'm here on a work visa, so I'm working full time. I can't take actual classes and stuff. So I'm taking one-on-one lessons with a Koto teacher who's preparing me for the exams. And there are 4 levels of pieces of songs I need to learn, and then a music theory exam at the end. And I think I can take that in Japan, or I believe I can also go to LA and take like an English version. I'm not sure, but I mean that's like years away.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, like, was it hard for you to like learn how to learn authentic Japanese or anything like that? Are you like familiar with just phrases or something like that?
Just phrases for now. I was taking Japanese lessons for a while, private lessons, like at a coffee shop, but my teacher got really busy, so I had to stop them.
Wow.
Now, one of the things that I actually wanted to have you discuss with everybody who's watching here is is just how many people want to go to Japan, and just how it's not what people think. Like, if they think it's this land of escapism, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Well, the escapism is great here. Like the pop culture and the options for entertainment and stuff to do in your free time. I feel like the rabbit hole goes really deep. Like, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I can't disagree.
But I would definitely say there's a difference between going to Japan for a vacation and moving to Japan to live. And I think that's true with any place, though. It's not unique to Japan, but yeah, it is. You're going to be kind of living the same cycle you live where you are now. You do things for fun, and then you go do something, whether it's, work, however you make your living, you go do that, and it's really hard. And there are daily irritations, like, oh, I got to go in the rain to get my residence card, or
yeah. What is the weather like in Japan this time of year?
Oh, this time of year, it snowed 2 days ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was raining, but I'm like, this rain is kind of. It wasn't actually snow; it was like little ice pellets. So I held out my hand and I was like, oh, it's like little ice pellets. So it's very cold now. Actually, let me see what the temperature is here.
Okay.
Outside,
and they measure it in Celsius, right?
Yeah, it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside now. It's a sunny day, so very comfortable.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
The summers are brutal.
Oh my goodness.
Like, Florida summers are terrible.
Yeah.
Summers in Japan are possibly worse.
Really?
It's like like people who've lived in Florida are like, this is way worse.
Yeah, because when it came to summers in Florida, I used to go to summer music festivals constantly, and that was just something that we had to put up with. And and that was something that even some of the rock stars were going like, dude, can we like hold a Ozfest in winter or something?
Yeah.
Well, and actually, most companies have something called Cool Biz, which from the months of I forget the months, but there's like a 2 or 3 month period where you don't have to wear jackets or even a tie at some places. Every company, it's a little different, but you basically dress down. You're allowed to dress down. Like in my company, I wouldn't have to wear a suit
Yeah.
because it's so hot, and they acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's
It's pretty
good.
ridiculous.
So the salary man
heat.
just doesn't need to wear the suit all the time, basically, in a way.
Mm.
Now, Evan, Bright, do you guys have a question like
Yeah,
that?
Bright, you got something for Mr. Adams?
Well, I guess. I mean, because I'm really fascinated about like Japan, and like I'd like to say, let's see, what's it like just like interacting with people on a day-to-day basis? Do people in Japan speak mostly Japanese, or do you get by with English? How many people know English fluently?
People speak mostly Japanese. Also, I'm, like I said, about 45 minutes from Tokyo, and so it may be different in other places. But here, a lot of
Right.
people speak Japanese.
Okay.
I mean, okay. A lot of people speak English. Sorry, let me rephrase that. A lot of people
Okay.
speak English. Everyone speaks Japanese. But
Okay.
I managed to get by with a small amount of Japanese phrases.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Interacting. I mean, I don't really stop and talk with people on the streets.
Right.
But when I go to a bar, or a lot of times the bartender will ask me a lot of questions, try to speak English to me if they can, and be like, "Why are you here in Japan?" And they're very curious, why is an American at my bar? Although a lot of people assume I'm from like Europe, I guess, because of my face. I don't.
Maybe.
Like, people are surprised sometimes when they hear I'm from America. They're like, "I thought you were from Europe or something." I'm like, no.
Yeah. Do you meet other Americans who come to move to Japan, or like I guess people from outside of Japan touring in Japan?
Definitely at my job, because I work.
Okay.
I teach one-on-one English lessons at a company that hires foreigners. So that's one reason my Japanese isn't better, is because I'm surrounded by English speakers
Right.
all the time at
And
work.
your job is to teach English, so
Yeah.
I get it.
So yeah, there are people from everywhere. And I also live in a share house with I think a max maybe 11 people. So it's me. There was a guy from India. There's currently a Canadian guy, another American, girl from Taiwan. Like people from everywhere come in and out of this share house, and kind of the main language we use in the common area of the share house when people aren't speaking Japanese is English.
Ah.
I think there are 4 Japanese people who live here now. So
Yeah,
and the rest of us are from everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching this bass player on YouTube, JD504, and he actually is Italian, but he speaks English in his videos. And he did his little Italian. He did an Italian voice review, and someone asked him, why do you speak English in your video? Well, I guess English is there's always that saying that English is one of the harder languages to learn, but I'm not sure how true that is, because according to him, when he says goodbye or next in one of his videos, he has to go through like 5 syllables just to say next. But with English, it's just that one word. So
yeah.
I think it may be a grammar thing, or it may be the way that there's so many ways to read different letters, like combinations of letters.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like so many different pronunciations. Like, I think that's what's difficult, which I mainly do like my English teaching is mainly conversation-based English, but a lot of times, clients will still ask like about stuff like that, and it's like, well, I don't know why. I don't know why we say this word this way. It's like, so.
Evan, do you have a question for Robert?
Actually, yeah, I wanted to actually ask more about the music career. Like, what made you actually want to pursue a music career by going to Japan? Like, was it because of the culture of the Koto instrument or anything like that, or?
Yeah, well, kind of the two paths my music has gone along over maybe the past decade is the rock thing, which was highly influenced by Japanese rock, especially Visual Kei, and the traditional music thing, which is Koto. So both of those kind of have a strong influence in Japan, and even like in my rock band, the aesthetic was very influenced by Japanese animation. So that's the third tie back to Japan. So it was kind of just a natural extension. What kind of what happened was I was doing the rock band in the United States, SS Hanami, and we disbanded. And so I was looking for new band members. I gave it about a year. And in the meantime, I recorded a solo Koto CD, but I couldn't get any, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And, but I couldn't get anything together. And a Koto teacher from Japan came to the Murakami to do a workshop, to teach a Koto workshop. And I did that a couple of years with him, and he encouraged me. He said, if you want to be serious about your degree, you should move to Japan. Or if you want to be serious about Koto, you should move to Japan and get your degree, your Koto degree. And I couldn't find band members in Florida. I was like, look, I've given this a year, and, I'm finishing up my Koto CD. Let me, now's a good time to move to Japan.
Yeah.
I did go, I didn't move here cold turkey, I guess, or I didn't move here blind.
Not on a whim.
Yeah, like you actually spent maybe 10 days or 2 weeks there first.
Yeah.
I spent 10 days in Japan 2 years ago. I did a Koto program. There was one of the Koto schools is called Seiha, and Seiha had Seiha. No, Seiha.
I know, but Wright is a pun person, so I thought I'd throw that one out there.
Going to a seance.
Yes, so they had a week-long program for traditional Japanese music, and I went to that and I stayed in Japan for maybe 10 days or so and got my experience with that. Really loved it, and that was my basis for, okay, I think I could live here.
That's
so
awesome.
Then I started looking for options. I'd either have to go with some kind of scholarship or grant, or I'd have to get a work visa and do the Koto degree kind of on the side, even though it's my main reason for being here. And I ended up going with a work visa. I applied to, jobs. I have an English degree, so that helped me naturally gravitate toward teaching, like most people do who move to Japan.
Yeah.
It's kind of the stereotype, like, oh, you moved to Japan, you're an English teacher, right? Yeah.
Now, going on a little bit more here with music, because you and I, when we're both rock guys, and there's two Japanese rock / metal bands that we both know and that are fans of, and that's X Japan and Gear and Grit. Now, aside from them, though, what is the rock scene, or what's rock music like in general over there in Japan, and how's it different from
I mean, the scene is varied. I've been to the two main, the few shows I went to last year. I went to a really big show in not an arena, but a big conference center kind of thing. I went to see Koto, super mainstream, for his 20th anniversary. And then I also went to my friend who's in a Visual Kei band. He moved to Japan, I think 6 years ago or something, started a Visual Kei band. I went to a really local Visual Kei show. So
what is Visual Kei?
A visual Kei just means style, visual style, and it's kind of initially I mean, I'm sure there are people who are super into the history of Visual Kei who could. I might be getting details wrong, but it was highly influenced by metal, rock, and glam music.
Yeah, I think maybe theatrics, but with anime instead of like maybe something like horror related, like Alice.
Okay.
Yeah, of
that
course.
makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's specifically tied to anime though. They're in the United States in the con scene, kind of anime fans and visual K fans or J-rock fans kind of go hand in hand, but they're two very different scenes here. But yeah, to
More
answer your
distinct.
yes, exactly. But the aesthetic is very like the hairstyles are very reminiscent of anime or video games like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy characters.
I love
Very
the fashion.
similar.
I love the fashion.
Yeah, the fashion
There's
is
a
great.
lot of details in the fashion, Japanese fashion, I know.
Yeah, and that's sort of a message out there to everybody, and just not just anybody who wants to get into performing live. I don't care who says what. The visuals matter. What
They
you wear
do.
matter.
As much
What's
as
on
the music.
matter. Okay, yeah, especially nowadays when I just had it here. When everyone's kind of distracted by their phones and social media, like if you want people to stop looking at Facebook, give them a reason to look up. So so all
Absolutely.
that matters. So music-wise, though, it's kind of similar to what's here in this.
Well, now musically, it's everywhere because visual K just refers to the style of appearance, and it goes through different trends, for sure. Now a lot of it is heavy with screaming, like a lot of the newer visual bands.
Yeah.
But like when I went to the local show, a lot of them seemed more influenced by earlier stuff, like Malice Miser, stuff like that. So, going to the local show and seeing bands who, are just on that bottom, not to talk down about them, but they're kind of on that lower rung, trying to succeed and trying to get more known. I felt a kinship I felt a similarity to going to local shows in the States, where you have a bunch of bands and you want to, I was leaving and someone handed me their CD and another person handed me their, card with their band info. It was like, add us on Facebook. It's that same kind of thing.
Basically the equivalent of someone giving you like a business card at like Artist Alley or something like that.
Exactly. And I love that, that hunger for, success and to move up in the world of music.
And there must be a lot of competition for the music scenes, like people working hard to get.
Yeah, it is. There is for sure.
Yes, because as I was telling these guys earlier in our stream, there's a channel that I like to watch. I even sent it to you, the Punk Rock MBA, about how to get noticed in today's day and age. And it's like, when it comes to making music, now's the best time to be a musician. But if you want this to be your full-time job, it's important to know that there's a good chance that you're not going to live like a king. Because
not like the old rockers of the 60s or 70s even. It's just like so much competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
so many more genres than there used to be.
Yeah, in fact, even Robert and I were talking about this Mongolian folk metal band, though.
Oh, my boyfriend started listening to the Who.
Yeah, and like if you were to buy a CD, the band would get like maybe 7 cents per sale. But if you if you listen to something on stream, they get a fraction of a. However, as bad as that is, though, as the guy from the Punk Rock MBA pointed out, unless you plan on doing 100% of the work and taking on 100% of the risk, you do not deserve 12%. Because, definitely labels have screwed people over. I will never deny that. But nowadays, there's no telling if your band's going to be a success or not. Even if they promote you right, there's no guarantee. And if the label, has to shut down, or if the streaming platform has to step down, you're fine. If the label and the platform, they take on all the risk, and put up all the money. So if you can figure out to do it all by yourself, you can at least make a decent living. And it seems like that's you and I were actually talking about that before, Rob. But I know you got some ways to be there, because you said you're actually you want to audition band members at some point.
Well, what I'm going to not audition, just find band members, get a new band together here in Japan. Probably what I'm going to do is I've started writing another CD. The next one's going to be a rock CD, and so I'll probably find local musicians or people that I know or my friend knows to record the instruments, and from there we'll see about doing live shows. And it's just all, I mean, it's all about, you know, making connections and being part of a community.
That's something that even I still try to do. I try to, you know, put musicians in contact with other those who could actually deliver something that they may need. That's just kind of how things work. But you definitely got to build up. You got to build up that contact list on your phone, essentially.
Yeah. But at the same time, you kind of have to be. You can't do it in a cynical way. Like, you can't be like, oh, I want to do a favor for you, so you do it. I mean, of course that naturally happens, but it's about being part of a community, and these things just organically happen.
Yeah, that's actually being like friendly with people and creating those good memories and like doing just because you want to do them, not because you're expecting something in return. That's how it is in any community, I would hope.
Yeah, you got to be genuine. I mean, the way that S.S. Hanami started, my rock band back in the States, like I recorded some songs, and Chibipa at the time, contacted me and said, hey, do you want to perform? And I said, I don't have band members. They said, oh, just do karaoke. So I was like, okay. So I was back from college at the time and just eating at, I think, a TGIF or something with some friends from high school. And I was talking with a friend from high school, and he was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Can I just play bass? Oh, sure. And some other guy, he's like, I know someone who plays guitar and drums. And so we just, I had a full band for my...
It just clicked.
It just clicked. And it was only for that one show. But the other members had so much fun that weekend. They were like, that was a lot of fun. Let's just do this as a permanent thing. You know, it wasn't even planned. It was just, oh, we're going to have one fun show. It worked. And, you know, then 6 years later, we were, you know, in a van touring the East Coast of the United States. Oh, yeah. You know, and, you know, releasing CDs and stuff.
Yeah, I actually have one of the CDs right here, the original one there. I got at Grand Prix Gala.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, memories.
Nice. I loved the art in this thing, I just want to say, and I just want to say up front, I could listen to Eternal Autumn all day. It was amazing work.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. I love that song.
Yeah, like, it was a shame that you guys disbanded, honestly. Like, you guys were amazing, honestly. To God.
I appreciate it. And if you don't have a copy of the second one, please let me know, and I'll make sure to send one your way. Because I prefer the second one to the first one.
I have to see.
And to give some people a little, not necessarily behind the scenes stuff, but just something that actually happened when we were working with this guy with the gala, is we actually did a little fundraiser event in my neck of the woods here in Florida. And we said to Robert, like, hey, would you guys like to do an acoustic show? Like, yeah, we will. Click, how the hell do we do this acoustically?
Basically, yeah.
Goodness.
But they figured it out. They did it, and people definitely enjoyed it.
That's talent.
Like, they had one floor tom for drums, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and just being in a band and touring, there's so many great stories, and it's just such a fun life.
And it is brutal, but it is worth it in the end, especially if you're working with good people. Now, Evan, Bright, do you have something you'd like to ask him? Before I do?
Right. It's like, I know there was like some question I had in my mind, but like, you know, one of those things you just like, you're paying so much attention and like you forget about it.
And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask him one more thing, but while he's talking, you guys got to think of something here. Okay. Now, Robert, you actually talked about how
lemon sherbet. See, I thought of something.
You talked about how much further the rabbit hole goes when it comes to pop culture and stuff to do there. What's some things that you can only do there in Japan that you could not do anywhere else, besides like sightseeing or art?
That's a good question. I'm not really into the I'm not really into the spectacle kind of touristy thing. Like, my favorite things to do are things that I could actually probably do anywhere. I like to find weird, strange little restaurants, little bars, and I mean that's something you can do in any part of the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are the obvious things like the robot cafes or the robot cafe. I did go to a rabbit cafe, not robot cafe, robot restaurant.
The rabbit cafe? Do they have like real rabbits?
Yeah, you hold rabbits and you buy a drink, and they also had an otter.
Yeah, I've seen that for like owls, birds. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I'd love to go to an owl cafe or a bat cafe. Although the bats probably like poop on you or something. I don't know if there is such a thing.
Did you actually show me a picture of this one restaurant you ate at where there's like penguins swimming above you? There's a pool like right over your head.
That wasn't a restaurant. That was a like an aquarium.
Wow.
But I mean, I'm sure. Like, I think I don't know who said this, but someone said like if you want to find it, in Tokyo, you can probably find it.
Yeah.
Like I haven't scratched the surface, and this goes back to what I said about the difference between going on vacation to a place and living there.
Yeah.
Even like I just had a week vacation from work, and I stayed in Yokohama. I didn't travel, and I played computer games and rested because I was exhausted from work, and it's like I didn't want to like my favorite places to go. I have a couple of bars I love. There's an absinthe bar in Tokyo that I love going to. Some great restaurants, but like someone with more eclectic inclinations could probably find way more stuff to do. I'm terrible. People are like, I'm coming to Japan for 2 weeks. What can you recommend? And it's like,
I don't know.
I go to bars. I go to bars.
Yeah.
I go to restaurants. I like walking around cool looking streets.
So you're like an explorer in a way.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I like to do, and yeah. So.
Okay, now Evan, Bright,
right.
Have you thought of something?
I have a good question. So I'm into wordplay and language and like how things sound. So I want to ask, what are your favorite and least favorite Japanese words that you've learned?
Favorite and least favorite Japanese words I've learned. Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is great.
Like something that just sounds delightful to you, that or you're really satisfied to have learned that one.
After that, we got a chat question.
I can tell you my maybe most useful phrase. It has been now I'm gonna forget it. Karakuchi de tsuchi no kaori suru wine ga suki desu. And I probably just messed that up. It means I like wine that is dry and smells like earth. My Japanese teacher taught me that, and it really works in wine shops. Karakuchi de tsuchi no kaori ga suru. Karakuchi de tsuchi no kaori ga suru.
Tsuchi no kare, yeah.
See, now I'm literally messing it up.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, we gotta.
So this is the extent of my Japanese after living in Japan for a year.
Yeah, you can finally ask for dry wine that tastes like earth. There you go.
Exactly, like that. As far I don't have any particularly favorite or not favorite words. What was the chat question? I'll get back to you if I can think of. Sorry, I didn't have a more interesting answer for that.
No worries.
We got our chat question here, Emma. Is there a lot of street art, and how about street performers?
Street performer, very good question. Street performers, yes. From what I understand, you need a permit to perform, at least near Yokohama Station. It might be different in different areas of Tokyo. Street art, as far as graffiti, I haven't seen much.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know actually in Singapore, which I know is not Japan, but it's still over there in Asia. If you actually get caught doing graffiti, they will cane you.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Cane?
Caning is still a thing there.
like a kendo stick.
I don't know about that in Japan.
Yeah, that's why I
I
said
haven't
Singapore.
heard of this. Oh, Singapore. Okay.
Yeah,
the sound
yeah.
cut out for me for a second.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the comedian Gabriel Iglesias, he actually did some shows over there in Singapore, and he was learning a little bit about their customs and that was one of them. That was the punishment.
That was one of his bits.
Yeah, just talking about some of the rules that they have there, and the punishment for them will be I think I don't know if it's the same place, but if you actually get caught just spitting gum out there on the streets, you will be fined.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now, Evan, do you have something you'd like to ask him?
There's so much to ask here. I mean, like last time I saw this.
No, please, go away.
I mean,
we'll do a lightning round.
I mean, last time I saw this guy, he was at MegaCon. That's all.
Yeah.
You were there.
No, I mean, I'm here. Ask me anything. I'm happy to.
Yeah. Do you ever think about having plans of moving back to the United States at any point in the future?
I don't know.
It's like
I'm playing it by ear. My visa's from year to year. My work visa, so I just went last month to get it renewed for another year. So I'll be here at least one more year. I suspect that my degree will take at least 2 more years for me to finish. After that, I mean, I could move back to the States and teach Koto. I could do a lot of things. It depends on what happens in the interim. I mean, if I start a band here and I put, ties down here, then I might stay here. A lot of my friends have joked. They're like, I don't think he's ever coming back. He's not coming back. They think I'm not coming back. I don't know. I'm really playing it by ear. That's my most honest answer I can give.
Which is good because you're a musician. It's good to play things by ear if you're a musician.
You ever thought?
And if I'm not mistaken, actually, I even think Dave Ellefson of Megadeth. I think he actually even has residence in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason, American music does really well there. My friend Misha, with his former band Summer, they toured Japan multiple times, and even throughout his career as a bass player, just drifting through different, they always end up going to Japan. They really seem to like American music.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I have another question. How is public transportation there? Like, do people? I mean, I've heard stories about like how crowded the trains can be. How is that compared to like street traffic, like cars and bikes and things?
It's actually a good question because the next chat question actually is close to that question. Yeah, go ahead.
I have no desire to drive a car here. It seems like such a pain.
Okay.
Like the streets look so stressful.
Just
like driving looks so stressful. Public transportation is incredibly convenient.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is very crowded. But, I mean, like I've had countless experiences of you see the videos of people being you are smushed together and you're holding on to the hand thing and you're crammed in. It's like sardines in a can.
And what about bikes?
Bikes, I'm too clumsy to ride a bike, but I'm sure a lot of people do that. I think that is a viable option. if you have to travel longer distances. There is I noticed there is bike parking places to put your bikes, but public transportation is fantastic. The only thing you should be aware of is during the winter months, it's so cold outside and so hot in the train.
We got two from the chat here. One's a statement, one's a question. The statement is they have go-karts for experimenting with in Akihabara. I don't know what that means.
Akihabara is a beautiful place. That's some place you should definitely visit. It's kind of a mecca for like nerdy kind of stuff, like electronics games.
Yeah, I think
there are a lot of.
I think Bruce went there one time.
It's beautiful. I mean, yeah, I've seen. There've been a couple of times I've seen people just riding down the street in go-karts.
Really?
Yeah, not in Yokohama so much, but in some other less populated areas. And I was just like, oh, that's a thing. I think they may have been wearing costumes or kigurumi, like the.
Oh, what about motorbikes?
Random aside, motorbikes are pretty popular, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like, because I recently watched Akira, and so like I could really see people motorbike scene.
Yeah, there are motorbikes. That's pretty common.
Now, what was the other chat question now?
The chat question is, what is the work situation like? Are you doing more than 8 hours a day?
Sorry, for a second. Am I doing what a day?
The question was, what is your work situation like? Are you doing more than 8 hours a day?
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day. It depends. My work situation is a little unique because I'm a contracted worker, which means I provide a service. I'm an instructor, and I select my own schedule, my own availability every month for the next month. And so what I usually do is on weekdays I practice Koto from noon to 3. Then I grab a quick bite to eat, walk to work, and work from 4 to 10. Teach lessons from 4 in the afternoon to 10. So that's not long. Then on weekends, because weekends are kind of a peak time, really busy, a lot of people want lessons, I'll teach from 9:15 in the morning to 8:30 at night on weekends or holidays. Wow. Which can be pretty intense for doing one-on-one 40-minute lessons with a 5-minute break in between. So like yesterday I taught 12 lessons. But when I set my schedule that way, the times when I have the most students or most clients is those times are at night and on weekends. So
now before sorry, go ahead.
But I think people who actually work for a company, the situations might be different. Like I'll have I've heard stories from people who work very, very hard at their companies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've heard a lot of the people there are really hardworking people. Really put a lot into their work.
Now, before you actually came in, you actually told us that you had your Koto set up to at least show people what it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
this
it.
This isn't my good Koto. If people want to hear my music, they can listen to that online. Like I don't want to spend time playing it now, but if you want to hear it, I can pluck a few notes.
Yeah, just kind of show people, give an idea of what this Japanese harp sounds like.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I just this is kind of my crummy Koto. It's literally falling apart. But it was the first one I played when I got here to Japan. But let me just I don't know if you can even see it on the bed behind me. But,
oh, geez, that's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
That's a beautiful instrument.
You get the idea.
That's
Some
awesome.
really good work there. Really good work on your Koto playing. Like I said, when I saw you play that, I saw you playing the Koto for one of the gala promos, and it was incredible stuff. Really incredible stuff.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And I wasn't sitting in the correct posture or anything there, so that was kind of...
I mean, it is lying on the bed, so...
Yeah, none of this is correct at all.
The size of your bed, I thought would be smaller.
Proper.
But for me, like one of the interesting things about it, because as a guitar player, there's a few different ways you can play a note, or at least approach it. And one of them is to actually bend the string. And when you do that, you're basically bending it up half a step. Well, in his case, what he actually does is he has like these little triangular things that go underneath the string, and he actually has to bend it by pushing down on the string to make the sound go up, which I actually find that really fascinating because I remember the guitarist Paul Gilbert. He loves bending his strings because they just sing when you do that. And I can imagine it's got to be similar for a Koto.
Yeah, you can bend the strings to raise the sound. You can also kind of pull them to you the way you'd pull a rope in tug of war to lower the sound a little bit. And that technique is called hiki iro, which iro means like color. So you're pulling to change the color of the sound, which is one of the things I love about the Koto. I love the sound. And one of the challenges for writing for the instrument, which I haven't been fully successful with, is especially trying to combine the Koto with rock music, is not losing that sense of space and that sense of color and really letting the sound sing when I'm writing songs. So,
I like that concept, like having sort of music have colors to them. Like that really is fascinating to me.
That actually is a study in music, the color of music. That is, and no, we're not just talking about the sounds of music here. I'm talking about actual color and what they compare it to. And to give people even some more little insider info, because I'll never forget when you told me, and that is restringing the Koto is actually a guarded secret. When you actually were getting yours restrung, you and a bunch of other Koto players paid for some Japanese guy to fly to the States to restring all these Kotos.
Yes. I don't know. I may have misspoke earlier. I don't know if it's how guarded of a secret it is. I know each person who restrings the Koto has their own certain way of doing the knots, I guess their own signature. It's definitely something, it's a trade you have to learn. Yeah. It's not like every guitarist can restring a guitar pretty much, right? That's like part of your normal skill set of being a guitarist.
Oh, yeah.
I know not everybody can tune a guitar properly.
I don't know much about guitar, but with Koto, it's a separate skill set to be able to restring the Koto. It's and you can,
it seems like secrets nowadays are not as guarded just because the internet and social media, like anything can leak like but still, I mean, at the time though, the fact that you guys had to fly someone in from Japan to put new strings on these things, not even to fix them, just new strings. Like, good lord.
I mean, how often do they need new strings?
My Koto seem to last about 6 months before I need new strings.
Yeah, it's important to remember, guitar strings are different for a Koto. Aside from mine on an electric guitar is made of metal, but even then, on a classical, those strings are made of nylon, and even those have an expiration date on them. Not metaphorically speaking, of course. Now, aside from
what are Koto strings made out of?
Originally, they were made out of silk, and some Koto players today still will play on silk strings, especially when playing classical pieces, like traditional pieces. But currently, they mainly use, I think it's either nylon or Teflon. I think nylon.
And
but they're pretty durable.
Now, Are there any other Japanese instruments that have actually kind of inspired you to kind of pick up and like maybe fiddle?
During the summer program, I've played a little shamisen, but shamisen doesn't really click with me. I love the sound, but I'm not good at playing it.
Well, you're going to have to tell me what that instrument is.
Oh, shamisen it's kind of the
Oh, I've heard of that.
it's kind of, the body is small and square shaped, and it sits like this, and you have a plectrum, and it has a very, I don't want to call it a banjo like sound, but it has a very twangy like
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I remember
kind of sound to it.
I remember I was watching this JonTron video of him playing Takeshi's Challenge, and there's this one task where you have to get a shamisen and like learn how to play it at a bar. It's like crazy.
It's a beautiful instrument, and I love Koto songs that incorporate shamisen. But for me, I fiddled around with it a bit, but I wasn't. Right now, I have enough on my plate trying to learn Koto and get a band together. So thinking about picking up a second instrument right now is terrifying.
How many strings does a Koto have?
Normally 13. There's a 17 string version, which is kind of sometimes called a bass Koto.
I was actually about to ask you about that.
Yeah, if you look up maybe the song Nami on Koto on YouTube, you can hear bass Koto. It has a very deep sound. It's 17 strings, and there are higher string versions. If you're familiar with like Wadaki Band, they play like covers of like I think Vocaloid songs and other songs with traditional Japanese instruments. And you look at his Koto in videos, his Koto has way more than more than 20 strings or something, maybe 25 strings.
I mean, the concept of like. Sorry, go ahead.
Which, I mean, he needs that many strings because of the songs he's doing and stuff. I think they do original music too. They have their new song, Wagaki Band's new song, is amazing. By the way, if you want to, I forget the name, but it's really good.
Oh, you gotta send that shit to me, man.
I mean, because like, as a guitar player, I can tell you the concept of the average guitar has only 6. But the extended range is 7 strings, 8 strings, 9 strings. I don't really count the 12 strings because it's not a whole separate string. It's the string itself plus one that's an octave higher. So I don't really count.
It's more like the strings are double, like they're pairs of strings.
So the idea though of 7, 8, and 9 string guitars is still baffling to some people. And matter of fact, I went to my local guitar center, and they had a 7-string bass. Now I'm familiar with the
bass.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at the 7-string, I'm like, this isn't even a bass string. This is a guitar string. And while I'm okay with the extended range, like if you can't put your hand around the neck, it's officially a novel at that point.
Yeah.
So the idea.
An instrument's supposed to be something you can play.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting for some people just when it comes to guitar, but for the Koto, again, that Japanese heart, I can only imagine how confusing it must be for the outsider to see something like that.
It definitely, the appearance is striking, which is maybe one of the things that originally made me gravitate toward it. Is, it is, it's like 6 feet tall or 6 feet long, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a surfboard. It's like a surfboard, people.
not as wide, but I've had friends make jokes that they call it my surfboard. Yeah, but you're not the first one to make that comparison, unfortunately. But yeah, the appearance is striking, and the sound is so striking and unique too. So
okay, we got one more question for you.
Yes.
It's going to be from the chat. How do you transport your Koto to and from practice gigs, etc.? I mean, I know you mentioned that you have it at that karaoke shop, but I think he's referring to like gigs and everything like that mainly.
Oh, it's a pain. I carry it like this, and I have my backpack with my bridges and picks, and on one arm I have my 2 stands, and I maybe walk an hour and a half with that.
Good
Wow.
lord.
When I was writing music with a
It doesn't have its
keyboardist.
own special case or anything?
Oh, I have a case, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not a hard case, but sorry, but enough. It's padded on the inside, so it's protected.
Cool.
But it's definitely it's a pain, and it's times like that I'm like, why didn't I just learn something like guitar? Like, why is this easier to carry? Why did I pick this instrument that's 6 feet tall?
It's very obscure foreign
And
instrument.
hey, if it makes you feel any better, back in the mid-century, there was an instrument called the octo bass, and this thing took 2 people to play. Like think an upright bass, but this thing is like 6 feet tall, if not taller. And
Jeez.
you had
Octo
one
bass?
guy. Yeah, you had one guy who was up there working the string.
On a ladder.
Yeah, on a ladder or a stool, and someone else who was down on the floor just working the bow. And there was a museum in Arizona. It's like a musical instrument museum, and they were able to make
I'd
a
like to go
modern.
there.
Yeah, they made a modern day equivalent where you can, in fact, actually. One person can use it, but to work the string, they have these little buttons there that will kind of lift up and off the strings, kind of creating the fingers coming down on it. And I gotta say though, the only thing I want to hear be played on that thing was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Oh, yeah. Hear
That
how
bass-
loud that sound goes.
Yeah, that thing is
Dum, 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 dum.
that thing is enormous, man. So can you imagine having to lug that thing around?
Yeah.
I want to see the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest musical instruments.
Anyway, we are coming to the end of the stream here. Robert, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us on this stream. It was a pleasure talking to you, especially after so many years. Glad to hear you're doing good, man.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you for your
Definitely.
questions. Thank you for everyone who joined in chat to watch, and for everyone who's watching this in the future on YouTube, watching a replay. I really appreciate the support. Thank you, Evan, for the kind words about SS Hanami.
Yes, of course.
Hopefully, I would encourage people. There are some songs. We never released a 3rd CD, but some of the songs that would have been on the 3rd CD you can listen to on our website, or there are YouTube links.
Yes, can you actually supply everybody?
Already on it. I've done it 3 times now.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Put the
And
link.
I'm hoping that I haven't written a ton of songs for the new project or the new band, so I'm not sure what it's going to sound like, but I'm sure it'll be some kind of spiritual successor to SS Hanami. So I'm looking forward to getting some new music out there later this year.
Can't wait to see what you come up with. So yeah, if you want to check out his Koto music, he has thrillofthedescent.com, and SS Hanami is going to be just that, sshanami.com, all one word. Where listen to their stuff. Again, listen to this CD. Beautiful stuff.
And
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And hopefully we can actually have you on again too, because
I'd love to.
Yeah,
because this was an interesting lesson here for people to kind of get to know the lifestyle of living in Japan, not vacationing.
Yes.
Or it's same thing with Orlando. Like, Orlando's a lot of fun, but if you're gonna live there, you're gonna work. Okay.
Yeah.
Evan knows all about that.
But I mean, that said, I do want to say it's incredibly rewarding to live here, and I don't regret the move at all. So, I don't want to give
rock on, Robert.
People. Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I've had a fun time.
Thank you.
So, and I'm gonna go practice now for a few hours, and then head to work.
Go get him, man.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. That's good. Thank you very much. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
Good night.
And thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. I'm going to be skipping the final 5 because it's getting close to there. That was a good interview. I like talking to that guy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was great seeing him again, just seeing how he planned his move there right. He had a job lined up, a place to stay, and had his accounts all squared up. So that's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
I'll tell you one thing I wanted to say here though. Just gonna be honest here. I miss the pink hair.
It's too normal.
Open up your heart and let the Patrick Swayze Christmas in. Gather at the Roadhouse with our next of kin.
Next of kin. Santa can be our regular Saturday night thing. Decorate a bar stool and gather round and sing. Oh, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas this year. Or we'll tear your throat out and kick you in the ear.
It's my way.
God damn it, I got the wrong song on.